Today we're going to be talking about AI versus traditional email and the truths that nobody is telling you. Because you might be feeling like your emails really aren't just hitting like they used to. It's probably not your writing. More realistically, it's your entire strategy that is now outdated. Why should you listen to a random guy on the internet? My name is Morgan Von Drew, and I've spent the last 10 years running the full gamut from seed round startup all the way to international enterprises, where my campaigns have been responsible for upwards of $1.3 billion in marketing sourced revenue. I've gone through that whole corporate jungle, so you don't have to, and I'm bringing all of my learnings to you here on YouTube. So today we're going to be talking about the single most critical shift in email marketing for 2025, which is AI rewriting all of the rules. We're going to unpack three primary things. What AI email platforms actually do, hint, it's a lot more than just A/B testing to oblivion, where AI can trip you up. This would be things like spam traps, tone-deaf copy, and privacy landmines. And three, two compelling real-world examples, because this isn't just hype. I need to bring you some real-world insight and real-world impact so you understand that I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass. This isn't a MailChimp versus Klaviyo debate. This is about scale, timing, and making every email feel like it's a one-on-one conversation without needing a 10-person team. Chapter 1, the real question in 2025 about email marketing. Email still works. That's no debate. The real question is sharper. So which method nets me the most growth without melting my team's bandwidth? Which one gives me the highest ROI without ballooning my headcount or having to Frankenstein 6 different tools together? Which one actually lands in the inbox and not in Google's promotions graveyard? Traditional email was built for batch and blast models, so weekly newsletters or generic blasts. And AI email, on the other hand, it's built for right now. It's built for short attention spans, hyper-personalization, and scale where 10,000 messages need to feel like they're one-to-one or they're never going to land. This isn't just a shift in tools, it's a mindset move from campaigns to conversion, from maybe this works, let's test it out, to this is what works in real time. For chapter 2, it's very simple. AI does what humans can't, and we shouldn't shy away from that. We need to talk specifics here. So AI-powered email isn't just buzz, it's automation, optimization, and hyper-personalization all rolled into one. This is something that you would need multiple email specialists on your company for that AI can just do on its own. It's okay that they're hitting every single customer with the messaging that's going to resonate with them most. Things to pay attention to here are real-time behavior triggers. So instantly fire an email when somebody visits pricing, or watches a demo, or stalls in onboarding with something that is personalized to that specific action. If they stall an onboarding and they are on their 7-day free trial or 14-day free trial and they only used 30% of it and then never logged in again, you might want to go ahead and send an email to them as a reminder, like, oh, hey, you still have time. Or did you check out this other list of features that we know help activate that value realization for new users? You want to have predictive send times. So send at 10:04 a.m. for Karen or 7:51 for Rashad, because that's when they're most likely to engage based on their actual user behavior. You can see on a per account basis when they're actually engaging with your product. So send them emails at the exact same time. So when they're on their product, they open up their Gmail and there you are engaging with them. You're already in their mind. They're more likely to open. Next would be dynamic CTAs by stage. So like new users would get something like get started, whereas power users would see something like an unlock pro. This will all could happen automatically without you having to have several different versions of the same email going out. You also are able to have multivariate testing a hell of a lot easier than you ever were able to. So you can test subject lines, previews, CTAs, your tone all at once, where humans usually are only able to manage 2 variables max. Next would be automated list hygiene. So bad emails get suppressed, unengaged leads get smart reactivation flows, no CSV drama. It's like hiring 1,000 obsessive email marketers, but it never sleeps, it never slips, and it never really forgets. Now, one thing that I will note about email marketing or any automation to begin with is that all of this is true. It doesn't sleep, it doesn't slip, it doesn't forget. But you need to be sure that you have the actual correct settings for anything. Doing something like forgetting to toggle some obscure setting can end up sending the same email out with the wrong name to 1,000+ people, or sending it prematurely. So you want to make sure that there's always that human element, fact checking and quality assurance checking everything every day. It's non-negotiable. Using AI isn't just, hey, this is going to handle everything for me, I no longer need to work. It's allowing you to do and deliver your work at scale. So remember that. You want to add in advanced capabilities like AI can generate campaign ideas, it can build automation workflows, it can draft email copy, subject lines, CTAs. It's not just smart here. When you do all of this, then you're showing that you're not just smart, but you're pretty much unstoppable, because you're taking your brain and then you're multiplying it times 1,000. Like, I had signed up for Search Atlas a few weeks ago, and I was amazed by how easy it was just to create new meta descriptions for the 200+ pages that I have on my blog that I had missed when I had just been making rampant content. And it was able to generate all of those meta descriptions in seconds based on the tone that I already had in the content itself. So it was still my words. Before we dump on traditional too heavily, it still has its place, okay? So if you have a simple product, then a clean 3 email welcome series still works. It's completely fine, and people expect it. If you have low risk announcements, so like feature updates or scheduled downtime, you don't need AI to do that. Just send a normal email. It's okay. Don't overcomplicate it. You want to curate your outreach in a tiny little test, like investors or beta users, then a handcrafted note beats a scripted AI blast every single time. If you can write handwritten notes and mail them out to these people, do that. That's going to go way further and have such a stronger impact than any even traditional email ever will. Be different. We've got to be honest here as well that those are the expectations and not the baseline. So once segmentation gets dynamic and once scale matters, once your conversion rates dip, traditional tools crack. And when a simple hi first name looks like a robot is trying to reach out to them, it alienates your audience from you and they will bounce and they won't trust you again. The lane for traditional is shrinking daily. If you're gearing to scale, then you need a smarter engine, which comes with AI. Chapter 4 is building personalization that doesn't suck. And just to double tap in this, one of the biggest things is you're not trying to use AI to blast out 100,000 emails in a day that are all the same cookie cutter message. What you want to do is make sure that every single email feels like a one-on-one conversation. The level up for personalization is ensuring that every email that goes out is touching base on the user's actual use case, their pain point that they're experiencing right now, and demonstrated through their sales and discovery cycles, and based on how they're actually engaging with your product, which you can do based on behavior analysis. So you want to forget the whole, hey, first name, that's amateur hour, and yeah, cool, it might have given some dopamine a few months ago or a few years ago when everybody felt like it was personalized. That's just standard at this point. Even a basic email entry like, hey, comma, and then the content with no name feels a lot more conversational at this point. Today's personalization will look like this. It will have a predictive tone. Who wants punchy and bold versus formal and data heavy? AI will figure it out, and then it will deliver the messaging and the tonality that that particular user wants. Dynamic LTV segmentation means that, are they ready to have an upgrade, or are they still learning? You pitch them accordingly based on where they are. If they're still in their free trial, or if they're still using the free version of your platform and they've only been on for 14 days, they're using all of the baseline foundational pieces of content, they probably don't need an enterprise grade solution. You don't need to get upsold to your highest tier premium. What they need to do is get surface more knowledge-based articles, more video tutorials, maybe some support. So meeting them where they are. And then last would be behavior triggered content. So a CTA isn't just based on history, it changes based on what they did minutes ago. This would mean the difference between having a see how it works CTA for a new user that's going through their learning process versus a let's reconnect button for a returning user who bounced mid sign up a week ago. This isn't just personalization, it's micro-targeting at scale. Case in point here is that Grammarly, they implemented this and they saw upgrades go up by 15%. Their engagement went up by 23% because every single email felt smart, personal, and timely. People actually felt like the company was listening to them and interacting with them specifically. Chapter 5 is using email as a nurture and feedback loop. So almost nobody treats email right. They always treat it as a one-way megaphone, but the best brands in the world treat email as a feedback loop. Every open, every click, and every bounce teaches you a few things, like what features users actually care about, where prospects drop in your funnel, and which segments are hot and ready to convert now. Tap into that product analytics and CRM, and suddenly your emails guide your product, they guide your upsell strategies and your retention. Now you're not just guessing, but you're growing because you can see what people are actually responding to. It's marketing that fuels the rest of the machine. And I really need to get that across for a lot of startups is marketing tends to be the first department that gets cut during an economic downturn, when in reality, you probably just don't need as many sales reps. If your company is struggling that much, then your sales reps realistically aren't the ones that need to be kept because they're not selling the product anyway. The market is going to tell you whether or not you're valuable in it. Marketing will go a hell of a lot further. A marketing team will get a hell of a lot closer to achieving product market fit or being able to tell a story that can emulate product market fit to keep you afloat than hiring more sales reps to try and brute force more revenue that's going to churn anyway. Chapter 6, AI email isn't just all sunshine and rainbows. There is a dark side. It is incredibly powerful, but without control, it can be very dangerous. When you over automate, you're going to unlock unsubscribes at record levels. If they get too many emails too fast or it's way too generic, then you're going to end up watching your list exodus. Synthetic copy equals bad vibes. So if your email reads like a bot pitch, you lose trust fast. Privacy risks are pretty much just lawsuit bait. If you are misusing behavioral data, it's not just unethical, but it's effectively business unaliving. Your spam traps are equally Gmail exile. So promotions tab is one thing, but spam is another planet. You're never going to get found there and you're not going to get trusted. When you start getting all of your emails get sent to spam, good luck ever making it to their primary general inbox. When you use AI with no guardrails, it's a absolute wreck, and we alluded on this earlier. Speed and volume mean absolutely nothing if you ignore the human on the other end. You'll end up burning brand equity faster than you estimate ROI. Consent is greater than convenience. What you want to do is use AI to amplify empathy, not annihilate it. And again, you want to make sure that all of the automations are actually checked off and QA'd, so that way you're not spamming the wrong persona with the wrong message 1,000 times a day. There's nothing worse than when a new user comes on and you have a 7-email nurture flow for a free trial that's supposed to get sent out, spread out over the first 14 days of their free trial, but they end up getting spammed with all of them within the first 48 hours because your email marketer didn't click off one single box. Number 7 would be, is it worth it from an ROI perspective? And my feedback here would be yes, AI email costs a bit more, but the bigger question is, what's the cost of staying the same? If you stick with traditional email marketing, you're going to experience misconversions, redundant workflows, and unsustainable headcount. So for misconversions, your emails aren't really hitting the right person at the right time. For redundant workflows, there's hours wasted on manual segments, tests, and follow-ups that could just be done in minutes. And then unsustainable headcount is as your list doubles, but your team doesn't, guess what breaks first? It's going to be your team. It's not just a cool upgrade for you, it's a scalable cheat code for your business. Email itself isn't dead, but traditional email strategy is already on its way to the graveyard. If you're ready to scale smarter, not harder, than email isn't optional, it's essential. And AI email is the pinnacle right now. You need to be intentional. You need to stay data-driven. You need to let AI do what it's built for so you can do what you do best. The raw ideas that come from what goes into your email campaign are still going to be innately human and based on your particular skill set. So it's not taking away from any human, but what it does is it allows you to do all of this at scale, allows you to get the data faster, it allows you to segment easier, it allows you to reiterate more frequently. If this was helpful for you at all, please go ahead and give me a like, comment, and ring that subscribe bell. I am posting these daily, I believe, and check the tippity.digital/blog in my description. I have hundreds of free resources there for you guys to go read in blog format and audio podcast format. You can listen to them as well. That breaks down absolutely everything that I know about SaaS startups and how to scale. And then I will put 2 boxes over here on the side of my head that will let you watch more of these videos. Sweet. Adios.